Rob?
Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rebellion, and we're counting down the days till Star Wars. I believe last night was 17 days, now this is 16 days till Star Wars The Force Awakens. What you're seeing is something here that I personally have only had out once or twice when I bought this. In 1998, I believe, is what the back of this says. So this came out during the re-release of the special editions. I believe the first round of special editions into movie theaters. It is a Star Wars Masterpiece Edition, and you can find, I believe there were two of these at Walden Books, and I want to give a little shout out to Chapman Films. And I was chatting with the members of the Rogue Show, trying to remember, not that they were with me when I bought this, but we were just talking about this piece and just some other Star Wars stuff, and Chapman Films had said he remembered seeing these at Walden Books, and that turned the light on. I was like, oh yes, it's Walden Books, which are no longer in business anymore. I believe Walden Books was bought out by Barnes and Noble at one point, and they were bought out by somebody else first. But anyway, C-3PO was the other figure and book set. That's why Walden Books had this, because there's a book in here. As you can see, it is not Hayden Christensen, Darth Vader. That right, it's Sebastian Shaw. So before we knew who Hayden Christensen even was, he's probably not even born yet at the time this thing was released. Okay, he probably was, but very young. Anyway, I bet the original Anakin Skywalker was not born during this time. I digress. Like I said, this comes from Walden Books. It is produced by Kenner. I think other places other than Walden Books sold this. I think you could probably get it at Circuit City. I don't believe Barnes & Noble was in existence. If they were, they only probably had very few stores in 98. And somebody's probably saying, oh, Rob, there were more. We don't want to hear about that. We want to take a look at this. If you've watched ODC's review of the TIE Fighter, I'm having the very same problem he had during that review. I am so far away from this table that I can't reach it. So I have to do a series of edits and stops to be able to show you all this. I'm probably going to have to go handheld here. Let's see if I can spin this around. So there's the side of it. There's not much. It just says Anakin Skywalker right there if I get my dumb hand out of the way. And here is the back of it. Bear with me a second. Hopefully that's all in frame. The top part of it you can't see. It's right here. It says, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Can't you just wait to read that on the screen? Okay, anyway. This is Anakin Skywalker, the story of Darth Vader, Masterpiece Collection, exclusive, fully posable Anakin Skywalker, large collector figure, deluxe hardcover, illustrated history book of Darth Vader. Sadly, I never read this book, so I can't even really tell you much about the book. So sad. I boxed it up almost as soon as I bought it. So sad, but it's not getting boxed now. A comprehensive review of Darth Vader collectibles. I do remember flipping through this book and kind of seeing it. And up until 1998, this book was accurate of every single Darth Vader collectible ever made, which is really kind of cool. This is over 100 full color photos and illustrations, interviews with George Lucas, Ralph McQuire. I can never say his name right, and others. And I could read some more of this here. It says, an exclusive large collector's action figure, Anakin Skywalker, portrayed and appears at the end of Return of the Jedi at one with the Force with removable Jedi robe. So it's Anakin Skywalker in his, not ghostly form, but you'll see when I open it up. Clocks in at 13 and I believe it's 1/2 inches. Again, I'm so far away that you can't read this. See if I can get it closer here. Oh, bear with me. Of course, I'm out of the way of the light. Like I said, let me get this zoomed down for you real quick. I'll be right back. There you go, a little bit better read on the back of it. Wow, I just saw what I paid for this. I don't think I paid for the price of it. I'll show you in a second. Exclusive large collector's figure, Anakin Skywalker portrayed. I already read that. Limited issue available only in Masterpiece Edition. So this is the only way you could get this Anakin Skywalker, as Kenner was making other 12 and 13-inch action figures at the time. Like I said, collector quality, 13.5 inches, which is what most of them were. Fully posable, complete with classic Jedi tunic, belt, and long hooded cape. I always wished he had a lightsaber. I don't know what the ghostly form would need a lightsaber for. Let me slide this over here. Bear with me really quick. Again, I apologize for having to move the camera and everything around. So the stunning, fully illustrated history of Darth Vader, Star Wars' most dreaded and feared villain, completed by Stephen Sansweet, I believe is what the author of Star Wars Scrapbook and foremost Star Wars authority. A story of Darth Vader from Princess Leia's capture to the ultimate sacrifice. Capture. I'm gonna have to read on that. Over 100 full color page photos. I've read that. With some never before seen. Some early sketches of Ralph's of Darth Vader, which I believe a lot of us have probably seen by now. Reflections from George Lucas and again Ralph, and other creative forces behind Star Wars. A comprehensive review of Darth Vader collectibles. Blah blah blah. All that stuff. This retailed, if I have it in frame here, $75 US. I can't believe in 1998 I paid $75. I'm betting they had a closeout sale and I just waited long enough and it was half price. I'm thinking I probably paid half price for this, which was a steal. And I believe I have C-3PO as well. Can you believe that? I can't remember something that I bought from Star Wars or anything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off and I will reposition this. The box is rather large here, so we'll be right back, and I apologize for this review. It's really hard to shoot, but we'll be right back with the Star Wars Masterpiece Edition, Anakin Skywalker, the story of Darth Vader, made by Kenner. We will be right back. All right, I've got it tipped on its side here, and hopefully I got the camera angle correct here so you can see this. Now, I've really not had the figure out of its package, and there are some Star Wars stuff that if I've kept it in box this whole entire time, I'm probably going to keep it here. And I was saying that about this portion of the channel. With some of my Star Wars stuff, it just might be a show and tell piece. Like, hey, here's this thing that I have. I've never opened it. I'm not planning on opening it. Just because of if it's sentimental or if it's something I thought was going to be worth a bunch of money. Somebody could say, Rob, you can buy 12 of these on eBay for $5. If that's the case, maybe I'll break down and I'll open it and show it later. But for right now, just for the collectability of it and just, I guess, what it means to me to own this thing, this is as close as we're going to get once I flip this open as to me getting this out. But I will take the book out, so hopefully you're okay with that. So this opens up here, and we have this top portion here. There's the book inside here, which I do have the book out of its inner sleeve. So let's see, we'll kind of go pan up here. Again, bear with me. My fancy editing here. So there's that Anakin Skywalker, a story of Darth Vader, fierce, merciless, and fueled by endless power of the dark side. Darth Vader is arguably the most terrifying villain to ever grace the silver screen, but the man behind the mask is also the trilogy's most enduring mystery. So just knowing what we know now in 2015 with the prequels, one could only wonder what in 1998 when this figure came out, or even when Return of the Jedi was first released, we could only wonder and dream who and what Anakin Skywalker was. Did Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace meet the dreams that you had as a kid, or the very first time that you saw the original Star Wars trilogy? So I'm kind of curious. Let me know in the comments. Did it kind of taint Anakin Skywalker for you? I know some people are just hate Hayden Christensen. I don't mind it. Yeah, there's some parts that are bad, but I still enjoy the story overall. So, the collector's figure, our complete exclusive large collector, depicts Anakin Skywalker as seen in his final moments of Return of the Jedi, clad in a flowing robe of a Jedi, redeemed at last. I can't even read that word. The camera's not focusing. I should have known that. 13 1/2 inches posable Anakin Skywalker is available only in this Master Series, a must-have for every collector, blah, 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 all that stuff. So you can kind of see that. It lists more with the book here. It's really kind of hard to read if you kind of want to read. I'm not going to read all of this. I will kind of scroll through to let you see here. Which, this is basically what I've read already. So hopefully you can read all that. I will tip this up in better light so we can see. Hopefully I didn't rush that too much and there's not much there else. So sorry for this long awkward pause. Again, I apologize by the sheer size of this box, but it's a really cool collectible to have. And we'll get a better look at Anakin Skywalker here. So there is the figure. It had him with his hood up, and I believe I can't quite reach it. Let me pull the book out of here. I know this comes out. And the book is, I thought, was really pretty cool, as this whole thing is probably going to fall. You probably saw it right there. The book is not straight. I thought that was a really interesting thing with this book, that it's just not the normal straight book. They kind of gave it it's actually the crawl, Star Wars crawl. It's the width of the crawl, kind of how it goes off into the distance. So I thought that was kind of neat how they did that. You probably want to see the figure here. I'm probably going to have to do another quick edit in here. I think this outer shell comes off. I think we can pull that out so we can kind of look underneath his hood and kind of see the robes and that type of stuff. So there's the likeness of Anakin Skywalker, Sebastian Shaw, as he's played in the final moments of Return of the Jedi, out of his package here. And it's just in a black, almost like a black mailer type box. And even the box, too, is in that very same, a wedge, as it were. So very monolith looking here. So I thought I could even slip it out of one case further. You could see there's another one here, but it is taped right here. I'm not entirely sure why. I thought that was there was like a wire tie or something there, but it's on both sides. Yeah, it must be glued in here. So this is as far as I've ever gotten him out. So you can kind of peek back behind here and see that his head turns, and he looks up and down just a little bit there. Again, it's kind of in the way. Looked kind of cool in his robe like that. I can actually, move him fairly well in here. He's got let's back him up just a little bit here. Actually, I'm about as far out as I can be. But he's got a swivel in his hand. It hinges. Single joint. There is none at the elbow. I don't even believe the arm. Yeah, the arm does go out. Man, it's been forever since I've had any of these figures out. Turns at the waist. No ab crunch. There is the rest of his cloak. Again, I apologize about this. And the fabric is really good on this. It's sewn very, very well. Multiple layers. Even his garments that are in here. Hopefully we can see that. Feel half dirty for looking at it underneath his cloak there, but it's just a brown pant. Very much kind of reminiscent of Luke Skywalker, if you will. If anybody has seen the preview images of what Luke Skywalker looks like in The Force Awakens, when he's in what we're appearing as his Jedi garb, maybe, very reminiscent to Anakin Skywalker here. He does have boots, which the boots are kind of like Barbie dollish. I can't believe I said that. But they do come off and on. And he's wire tied in there as well. So I can't move his legs. There is no articulation in the knees at all. So again, this is a really odd and difficult review doing something that is 12 inches. I do have some other 12-inch figures that I'll be able to review a little bit better. As you know, I do have some of them out of their package. But this was just something that I always looked at and admired at Walden Books, and told myself I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it sometime. I was just intrigued by the Anakin Skywalker character, and that's still one of the redeeming qualities for me for the prequels. Even though you might not like Hayden Christensen's performance as Anakin Skywalker, I still think the overall story of Anakin Skywalker is compelling, that somebody could have that much power and want to do so much good that they go about it the wrong way and completely destroy their life and the lives of others. So that's my soapbox for why I like the prequels. Although, yes, I know there are glaring problems with them. But we're not talking about the prequels. We're talking about the original Anakin Skywalker here. And then we have the book. Like I said, I never got around to reading this book, and I always liked looking at the jackets underneath the dust cover, and it's really nice. You can see more of the form there. Just a nice silver book. So I've only ever flipped through this, you know, once or twice here. Now look at this. Is that not Kylo Ren's mask? So Ralph's drawing, McQuarrie, I can never know how to pronounce his name until you hear it. It's always what I called it, McQuarrie. You know, the slow changes over Darth Vader's original look to how we know Darth Vader looked, but the very short helmet, very Kylo Ren here. Of course, we didn't know who Kylo Ren was at the time, but you can see where they got the look for Kylo Ren from as some of the early drawings of Darth Vader. And we could just see different variations of Darth Vader in this book. This is something I am definitely going to be reading. You can see another early stage of Darth Vader here as well. Yeah, I'm just kind of marveling at this book. There's one of the classic original pieces of art there. Sketch of Darth Vader. I remember looking at this book and looking at the sketches of Darth Vader and just thinking, wow, that's just really cool. But you can see what they were going for. I must have had this out because you can see either that or it came this way, maybe because of discounted. Some other knucklehead had it out. There's the inner workings of Darth Vader's helmet. This was something I would have loved to have seen. I don't know why, but I always liked the idea of Luke Skywalker fighting in his X-Wing outfit. I mean, I like his Bespin garb and all, but I've always kind of wanted to see him fight in the X-Wing outfit. Am I just that way? So just some really cool images. The capture of Princess Leia. I acted like I didn't know what that was, like they were talking about something else. How did I miss that? So this is just a really cool book. I can't say much on it as I've never read it, and I am definitely going to be reading it. But it goes through every last bit of history and piece of Darth Vader. And now you can get Bubblegum Darth Vader in the Black Series. Classic moment and getting to see. I was one of those people that I was all for Hayden Christensen being added into Return of the Jedi when it was first done, because I thought it was cool and it was new and it was different. Now I wish they would put Sebastian Shaw back in as he should be. That's when he got redeemed, and here's all the collectibles. So it's not every single Darth Vader. It does list them all, even as far down as to Underoos is listed in here, and when it came out, and when it's made, U.S. Apparel, France, Mexico, Australia, Canada, England. So it lists a lot of different things. Lightsaber replicas. So it is literally every piece of Star Wars memorabilia having to do with Darth Vader, even boots. So again, I apologize for the way this is shot. It's always hard to show a book on film, on camera. So that has been my look. This was rather quick and hopefully not too shoddy. I probably can't get this back up here. It's probably going to fall right on over. Cooperate. There we go. But this has been my look at, I believe it was the Walden Books exclusive. I think you might have been able to get this a couple other places. But the Star Wars Masterpiece Edition. Like I said, I believe C-3PO was the other one in the series. I would like to think I have C-3PO. Maybe I never got around to picking that up. I guess we'll find out as the Star Wars reviews continue on here on the Rob's Rogues channel. But right now, it's the Rob's Rebellion as we're getting closer to Star Wars The Force Awakens. Again, hopefully, I'm probably apologizing immensely for this video. I wanted to have something here. It's rather late. It's been a long night at work for me, and I wanted to have something to shoot and review for my Star Wars collection. So hopefully you enjoy this. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next Star Wars review. We'll see you. Bye.